If you've been walking every day and your waistline still won't shrink, your clothes still feel tight, and your energy is still flat, it's because of one of these sneaky mistakes that is shutting down your fat loss, even while you swear you're doing everything right. Hey, I'm Becca, and in today's video, I'm breaking down the 5 biggest walking mistakes that I made that secretly sabotage my fat loss. Listen, I've been there myself, pushing through the extra steps, thinking that more was better, and wondering why the scale wouldn't budge. I learned the hard way that it was all about maximizing your fat loss walking strategy. I used to think that walking 10,000 steps was the magic number, so I take long walks, skip meals, overdo exercises, and still feel stuck. And today I'm finally sharing the blueprint that actually changed everything for me. Here's the brutal truth. Women's bodies resist fat loss for very specific reasons. Stress spikes cortisol, which signals your body to store belly fat. Overtraining or undereating severely messes with your metabolism. Hormonal shifts through the month, PMS, or even menopause can slow down your fat loss results if your routine isn't strategically designed for women. And let's be honest, you're probably tired of the generic advice, logging steps mindlessly, and doing more without seeing actual results. The frustration, the fatigue, and the confusion, it's all real, but it's not your fault. And today we're going to tackle every single mistake that I made and show you exactly how to fix them with simple, realistic ways that actually work for busy women. Mistake number 1, pace and intensity. Many women sabotage their fat loss because their pace is way too slow or completely unstructured. Your body burns fat more efficiently when your heart rate is at zone 2. And zone 2 is typically 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. Walking too slowly means that your metabolism barely wakes up, and walking too fast pushes your body into sugar burning mode. Another mistake is not adding pace or variety to your walks. Your body adapts very quickly, so a flat, repetitive walk won't create that metabolic change you're looking for. Ignoring those incline opportunities, like gradually increasing the incline on a treadmill or using hills outdoors, is another huge mistake. Walking uphill or adding inclines recruits those glutes and hamstrings and boosts that calorie burn. So here's what I did instead. I focused on that brisk walk talking pace. I added 30-second power bursts by increasing the speed on the treadmill every few minutes. I mixed in hills or inclines whenever possible, and I walked in a way that actually woke up my muscles, stabilized my hormones, and actually burned fat. Mistake number 2, not having a routine or actually being consistent. Now, fat loss depends on consistency, not your motivation. One of the biggest mistakes is not having a specific walking time. Waiting till the end of the day or waiting until you feel like it makes it so easy to just skip the walk entirely. And skipping walks because of bad weather or life chaos is just another trap, and I fell into this myself. Another mistake is starting with a huge goal like 10,000 steps when your baseline is only like 3,000 steps per day. This is so unrealistic and is going to lead to burnout. You must gradually work your way up to those 10K steps, if that's your goal, of course, while obviously challenging yourself in a sustainable way. For example, my baseline was around 5,000 steps. So I set my goal to around 6,000 steps so that it was slightly challenging. And then I slowly increased it to reach that 10K steps over time. But remember, that doesn't have to be the ultimate goal. You don't go from 0 to 100 overnight. Some people even expect daily perfection or flawless walks. And others quit when the scale doesn't move right away. Walking should be a daily baseline. It regulates stress, hunger, and your hormones. And treating it as optional sabotages your results. So here's what I did instead. I scheduled my walks like actual appointments and committed to showing up even if it was for 10 minutes. I also focused on my average steps per week. And by doing this, I built my routine slowly and predictably so it actually sticks. Small and consistent steps beat your occasional long walks. Mistake number 3, tracking and habits. Tracking is another area where some get it completely wrong. Some don't track it at all, and you can't improve what you don't measure. Some obsess over the calories burned on their smartwatch, even though those numbers can be wildly inaccurate. Inconsistent tracking, missing your baseline data, not noticing drops in your steps during that time of the month, stress, or singing for hours on end at your desk can stall your fat loss. Other habit mistakes include relying on one long walk to make up for those hours of sitting and waiting until the end of the day to actually start moving. So here's what I did instead. I measured my baseline steps first and then started tracking and then started started creating my goals based off of that and starting to track. I increased my steps from 1 to 2,000 when my progress stalled or my fat loss plateaued, and created backup plans for busy days or bad weather. My goal was consistent daily movement, not perfect all or nothing walking sessions. Mistake number 4, ignoring your nutrition. Walking alone won't override those nutrition mistakes, and many women overestimate the amount of calories burned during their walks by thinking like 1 mile burns 300 to 500 calories, when in fact that's most likely not the case. Then they eat back the calories based on their smartwatch and reward themselves with super high calorie snacks, or undereat severely to speed up the results, skipping protein, skipping meals, or believing walking cancels out their indulgent foods is another silent killer. Low protein and low fiber can lead to poor appetite control, muscle loss, and even a slower metabolism. And undereating severely is going to spike those cravings, drop your ultimate daily steps, and ultimately slow that fat loss. So what I did was fuel my walks with protein, fiber, and energy sustaining carbs. I avoid treating walking like a punishment for eating, remembering that walking is a tool to improve your metabolism and your hormones, not excuses to over or severely undereat. So I plan my meals around my walks to stabilize my hunger and my energy levels. Mistake number 5, having an extremely warped mentality or mindset. Your mindset can make or break your fat loss journey, and my biggest mistake was quitting well before consistency had time to work, comparing myself to other influencers' step goals. Now it's so important to acknowledge where you are in your journey and improve from there. Expecting instant results, especially because you see things on social media, or believing that walking is simply not enough compared to other gym workouts, is a huge mindset trap. Now walking creates the silent progress: better cortisol regulation, improved insulin sensitivity, better appetite control, and a calmer mood. These benefits don't show up right away. Skipping walks during PMS, menopause, or stressful seasons ignores the moments when your body needs it the most. So I started treating walking as self-care, focusing on consistency well over perfection, and remembering that progress is silent at first. Remember, your goal is steady improvement, better energy, hormonal balance, and not an overnight transformation. So also remember, fat loss is a marathon, not a sprint. Walking works by gradually improving your metabolism, regulating hormones, and controlling your appetite. So it won't be that overnight dramatic result. But if you stay consistent, your energy, your confidence, and your body composition will actually change. But remember, walking is the foundation of your fat loss routine. Strength training is the upgrade. So if this video hit home for you, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I post every week about women's metabolism, hormones, and emotional wellness. And I'll see you in the next video.